What is going on, Dominator? David Dominator here, and today we're going to talk about. I'm going to talk about one team in particular, but I am also going to make a video about another team because I want to talk about them the most. Now, it was hard. It was very hard to decide what teams to do. I'm not going to do all 32 teams. But I'm going to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I think how they're one of the teams that won the draft, and in my opinion, they're definitely a team in their division that I think won. Ravens had a pretty good draft. They always do good drafting, though. I feel like, I always say that, but you don't necessarily hear a lot of their picks doing well either. So I don't know. And I think a lot of people were giving Amarius Mims the pick to the Bengals crap. I like it. I mean, why not? Everyone was calling it a developmental pick. Why not sit the dude a year to learn from Brown? And I believe now they have both Browns at tackle. Why don't you learn from him? It's like, there you go. Like, I don't know. People are stupid. People are weird. I mean, I know a lot of people that were just complaining about how I loved how people were just complaining about how the Chargers just made a stupid decision, even though if they went wide receiver, they would have yelled at the offensive lineman pick. But anyways, I think the Steelers had a great draft. I mean, compared to how the Browns did, they had one of the worst, I thought. But I think that the Pittsburgh Steelers drafted possibly in the first 4 picks, they drafted guys that should have gone round 1 and 2. When you think about Troy Fontenot, I think he was labeled as one of the top tackles, and I also believe he was labeled as a at least the top 10 to 15 pick. We got him at 20, so pretty good. Zach Frazier was supposed to be picked high in day 2 or very, very high very low in round 1. So I don't know about you, but like the fact that when I hear that, it's very good, especially because I wanted either Frazier or Jackson Powers Johnson. Happy Jackson Powers Johnson went to the Raiders, but I'm very happy we got Zach Frazier. I don't know about other Steelers fans, but when I was sitting there and I saw Powers Johnson go, I was scared because I was like, oh my God, already 2 guys that I wanted. How it went was I was torn between whether or not I wanted Powers Johnson or Frazier. I didn't know which one I wanted. It was so difficult to decide. Like, it really got to a point where one week I'm saying Frazier, 1 week I'm saying Johnson, then 1 week I'm like, I don't give a shit. I just want one of them. And then the guy from Duke, who eventually was the first center off the board, actually. So I think that you get Troy Fontenot at a high pick, 20 pick. I think he falls to you. I think it was a perfect pick. He's an aggressive player. I think he's going to be a guy who, for years to come, makes this run game scary. I think for a lot of the time, it's just if he could shut down some star players, he's definitely going to become a very big star. I love this pick too because it does when you think about it too, because he did play, and I didn't think about this until they started talking about it. He basically did play right, like, when you think about left tackle, it's the most important tackle position because most quarterbacks are right-handed, so you need to block for their blind side. I like that we're going to move Broderick Jones there, and obviously Penix was left-handed, which means Fontenot played a lot of right tackle. So I can't wait to see him play. Is he a day 1 starter? I don't know because I think a lot of people say that he is. But when you really think about it, we all said this last year about Broderick. I think, though, if we really want to move Broderick to left tackle, I doubt we're going to move Dan Moore there. I doubt we're going to see it. So I can think that we're just going to move Broderick over, put Fontenot there. Tackles are done. We're planting them in the ground. Hopefully we don't have to touch him for another freaking 10 years. So then Frazier, I think drafting him, we have been trying to replace Pouncey forever. Think about when we had Green for like a year or two. Then we had Cole. The fact that finally we have Frazier there, he's going to be a guy who is fun, and he'll be fun to see body some people. I mean, I love when they show guys going against like the top prospects. I loved watching him go against like one of the first defensive players that went off the board. I loved it. I think it was Byron Murphy. One of the first plays or second plays they showed was him just stopping him in his tracks. I love that. And the fact that dude was first round pick, this dude's a second round pick, and I think we got a steal with him, drafting him at number 51. It's going to be fun, and I think that this just solidifies that offensive line, knowing that you're going to have Jones, Saramalu, Frazier, Daniels, and now Fontenot. And Daniels is a guy who could possibly come out. I doubt this year, though. I doubt it will happen this year. And then you have to consider whether or not Isaac Saramalu is going to stay longer. I don't remember how long his contract was, 2 or 3 years. Roman Wilson, I believe this guy was a guy who should have gone in the second round. A lot of people were saying a second round pick. We got him at 84. And I mean, we need to replace Deontay Johnson. I think this is the best player to do it with. I mean, he's a smaller guy. He plays slot receiver. I think he's really quick off his feet. He's really quick off the release. And I think that if you can get somebody that could, listen, if you can get somebody that does the same thing as Devontae, but without the attitude, without the lackluster of the play. And listen, Deontay, I will always appreciate what players do. I appreciate what AB did with us before he got his craziness. I appreciate everybody for what they do. But the fact is that I was starting to really get irritated with him. Think about every year he had something wrong. That one year where he just couldn't catch a pass to save his life. Then the next year he just kept running. He kept running sideways. Like instead of just trying to go upfield, he ran sideways to try to distract. Then he's like, okay, well the next year let's get hurt. Obviously that happens. But I mean, then, north-south, right? You don't, if you have the ball and you catch it this way, you're not supposed to run the way you catch the ball. You're facing. You're like, and it just got irritating every single Sunday where we just see this dude, and then run backwards and then lose 10 yards. It's like, what are you doing, dude? And then I think what the icing on the cake was when we had that fumble. And like we needed to win games. Like this is a time to win games. It's sit up or shut up. Like they can stand up and shut up. Like you like come on now. You have to win these games. And the fact they fumble and he just stares at it, and then his processing speed just is like, oh, I fucking hated it. I also hate that Pickens. He's starting to become an attitude problem, and I think that I think there was a report that we told him, you better fix that shit or you're gone too. And I hope we did, because I'm done with his attitude too. And I get it, you don't get the ball, but you're not going to get the ball every single time in this team, especially when we're going to become a really heavy run team. And the fact is that we're probably going to use you as a decoy a lot of times. So unless you're open right away, Wilson and Freiermuth are going to get the ball a lot in this system, I think. The fact that he blocks, the fact that his motto was, I think it was, if you don't block, you don't get the rock or something. I love that. I think I'm going to like Roman Wilson for the longest time, and I can't wait to see him. Peyton Wilson, favorite pick. People have said that this could have been the first linebacker off the board, said could have been one of the best defensive players in the draft. I think that this is a deadly trio we're going to see with Holcomb, Queen, and frickin' Peyton Wilson. If he stays healthy, which I want to hope, first of all, let's just hope we don't want anybody to get hurt. I hate seeing guys get hurt, but, when you think about the Steelers and how they took a chance on Corey Trice, he got hurt immediately. So, I mean, I think they're a little nervous about that, but they're happy with the guy that they got because he's similar to Joey Porter Jr. I think that this is a similar thing where it's just like, hey, this could be a guy. He's quick. He doesn't give up. I think that just having him on your team is going to be a scary thing. I think that when you already think about those guys that are in front, like a lot of guys don't take off plays. This dude is not going to give up. And I can't wait to see it. Like a lot of times you'll see guys just start giving up in the defensive front, or a lot of the linebackers, especially if somebody's already like gone. So all the corner will get him or the safety will get him. He don't care. He wants to get him. So he will run and go get you, and I think that this could be a scary pick. If he stays healthy and plays, this kid, I'm going to tell you right now, is going to be something special for the Steelers. And, oh my God, a lot of people are not going to like it. I like these other picks for depth. I do think out of all of them, Mason McCormick has a very high chance of starting. I think that Mason McCormick could very well be a starting guard in this league in a year or two. I mean, when you think about James Daniels, I feel like he might be the next to get on his way out. And then I think that you look at Saramalu, it's similar. It's like, okay, if we don't have the money, if we don't have the, if we want to get cheaper, get rid of a veteran who helped a lot. I doubt it. I think we're going to want to keep him. But, I mean, I do think Mason McCormick does take at least Daniel's spot. And I think that this just helps the depth. I think we have a good problem on our hands that now our offensive lining our O-line room is now fucking just packed. So don't be shocked if we see a lot of, like, Herbig's brother getting, I guess that doesn't help. But, like, I believe Nate Herbig, I believe. Don't be shocked if he goes. Although I feel like he might stay on our team just because he played center a lot last year during the preseason. And I wonder if now that we have like no center besides Frazier, I wonder if just for depth-wise we want to keep him. I like Logan Lee. I like the fact that he's playing defensive line. I think he's going to learn a lot from Ogunjobi and Hayward, especially because both of those guys, if not both of those guys, probably won't be on our team in the next few years. I think Larry's contract's up soon, and I don't know if we'll renew it, and I don't know if Hayward really if we'll renew his contract either, or if he'll retire. So we'll see. Ryan Watts, I heard that he might be playing safety, or he could play safety. I think that this was an awesome pick just because we have crap depth, and I think that don't be shocked if all of a sudden this season or this, before the training camp and preseason starts, don't be shocked if Steelers maybe go after one more guy. A lot of people are like, well, who would they go for? The guy I consider them going for, I believe Stephon Gilmore is still available. Maybe you bring a veteran to that room. People were saying Patrick Peterson might be coming back. I don't see it. I guess Dante Jackson is a veteran, but I think that if you bring in like a guy, Stephon Gilmore is a veteran, former defensive player of the year. He will help your team a lot, I think. So even though he is older, and a lot of corners now we're seeing that the older you get, it's like kind of just we should just let you go. But I am very happy with the Steelers draft class. I have no problem with what the Steelers did, and if anything, I think that the Steelers, out of every team, won the draft. I don't know why I said it like a country folk, but I think they really did a great job. I think you can't say that they didn't at least be one of the teams that won the draft. They did fantastic. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think the Steelers, this is a good sign for the Steelers to come? My next video, I'm going to be talking about the Raiders, and I think that the polar opposite of what the Steelers are. There's two types of drafting, and you could argue there's a few, but there's drafting for the now and there's drafting for the future. I think the Steelers are drafting for the now this year. The Raiders drafted for the future. I'll explain in my next video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, like this video if you did. Comment down below on how you think the Steelers did. If you're a Steelers fan, what do you think? If you're an AFC North team and you just listen to me gamble, first of all, praise be to you. And, maybe not your team. But thank you for watching, and I want to know your guys' opinion. Like this video. I already just said that. Jesus Christ. See, this is what happens. This is why videos turn out 20 minutes than they should be. But dominate the world, Dominators. David Dominators out. Peace.